Hi there, everybody. My name is Jeremy Siskind. I'm the author of Playing Solo Jazz Piano. I'm also the author of the Jazz Piano Fundamentals series. And this is a true story. And the first part starts with a brag, which is that in 2012, I think I won the Nottingham International Solo Jazz Piano Competition. Please hold your applause. And I played this song called Aria by Hersch, a beautiful song that I love and have learned a lot from. And somebody from the competition then told me, what a coincidence that you played that song. Last year, the winner also played that piece, Aria. And it made me wonder a little bit why. It did happen that we were both students of Hersch, so that might have something to do with it. But I think there's something really important that this song teaches us besides that. And I want to show you the song. I want to show you what I think it teaches us. And then I want to show you how you can apply that to some other places. Now, I'm going to very purposely start out by playing it without showing you my hands, because the mystery of this song has to do with how we're using our two hands to play this music. So here's a little bit an informal version of Fred Hersch's Aria. I'll just play the head for you. Okay, so there's kind of the basic head of Aria. And so, like I said, I purposely didn't show you my hands because I think there's this really interesting mystery at the heart of the song when I've listened to it, when I've tried to play it, which is there's really clearly three independent parts. You might have noticed it starts out with a little introduction. So this has two parts, right? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. But then it has this pulsating chord, nice three-note chord in the middle. And if you could imagine the music in your head, you might be able to imagine that it's on all of the offbeats. We're in a bar of 3/2 or 6/4, and it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1. All right, so me as a listener, I listen to that, and I think, great, person's playing one part with their left hand, one part with their right hand, but then what happens? A melody comes in on top of it. And it's not a flat melody where I could maybe easily just use a couple fingers to play it. It's kind of, it really covers a lot of ground. And so maybe you can imagine how I'm playing this in your head, but now I'll add some piano keys, and here's how I play it. Judging by the music, I think Fred plays it slightly differently, but the concept's generally the same. not doing justice to it right now. But what you can hopefully see is that my left hand is covering 1.5 parts, basically. Right? The thumb is essentially doing something different than the rest of the hand. And the right hand is also doing 1.5 things. Right, so when you put them together, if I'm playing better, it sounds... Okay, so for me, I kind of figured this out for myself in college because I transcribed this piece and wanted to play it, and my mind was blown. I mean, you have to be able to separate out the coordination in each hand, and you have to be really reaching towards the center with certainly your thumb and quite a lot of the time your index finger as well. Later, I met Fred and I was able to get the music here. So you could see that he places some of the notes of the chord in the left hand and some of the notes of the chord in the right hand. And he also sometimes changes voicings in order to accommodate the melody. Sorry, I'm starting right at letter A where the melody comes in. So. Also, I love that suspension. So he's got consistently 5-note chords. For him, it's almost always 2 notes in the left hand, 3 in the right, I think. I see always 2 notes in the left hand, 3 in the right. For me, sometimes I transfer one of those notes to the left, especially if I can grab 2 notes with my thumb, for example, G and A together. Okay, cool. So a lot of you are probably now wondering, how does one improvise after this? And there's kind of 2 answers to the question. There is a solo section here. The first answer is that, as you improvise, you start by improvising really simple and really close to the melody so that you don't have to change up where your hands are. So for instance, if at the beginning, that's my melody, maybe I'd start by playing. Improvisation at this point is based a little bit more around what notes I can reach, right? I'm using a smaller color palette than I might if I were playing stride with the left hand and then I could do anything I wanted with my right hand, right? I'm limiting myself to where maybe my top 3 fingers can kind of play. But if you listen to Fred's recording, you hear him expand well beyond this, and essentially he often lets go of the texture. He does many other really interesting things. Sometimes maybe he'll condense the texture into the left hand. For instance, it could be just that. also leave some things out. You heard, and it could be, you could leave out even more. What am I doing now? I'm coming over with the right hand while the right hand's resting, and I'm grabbing. So I'm letting go of that rhythm and that accompaniment pattern bit by bit. And certainly, I recommend that you listen to Fred's recording, which is off of the album Songs Without Words, where he really masterfully weaves in elements of this texture and this kind of pulsating Brazilian adjacent style with other pianistic things. Okay, so that's a little bit of Aria, and you might say the premise of this video is that two pianists in 2 years won the solo piano competition. Why would that be? Well, the principles that you learn from Aria, first of all, are about being able to do multiple things with both of your hands at the same time, right? Playing a melody while accompanying. And it's not just that you're playing the melody while you're playing a ballad, a big long chord. Learning true independence because of all those little offbeats. So if I wanted to play, just for fun, I'll play Autumn Leaves in the style of Aria. Etc. Right? Of course, I don't want to actually play in the style of Aria, but I do want to be able to accompany myself with some chords that are in between the bass and the melody. Here, I'm playing with three distinct parts. The bass is mostly holding, not unlike the bass in Aria. You can hear, of course, the melody. And then there's the chords underneath, which are jabbing more in the way that bebop chords do. It's not that smooth offbeats or the held ballad, but that I learned playing Aria, being able to improvise over that ostinato, really taught me how to play in three different parts. It taught me how to create balance between those different parts, how to hold some parts while playing short notes in others, and it was a really valuable piece. So I really recommend that you check out Fred Hersch's Aria. I think that you can buy his Fred Hersch fake book, maybe from his site. It's Fred Hersch, Hersch. I'll search for it. I'll put a link in the description if I can. But if you enjoy this kind of experimentation with solo piano, you're really going to enjoy my book, Playing Solo Piano, for which Fred wrote an introduction. So thank you for watching. My name is Jeremy Siskind. Like, subscribe, comment. If you made it this far, why don't you say until the fat lady sings, because we're talking about arias. So we're thinking about opera. So until the fat lady sings, I will see you again soon.